Wealthy are not richer because they work harder than you. They are richer because they learned a different set of rules. While most people spend their lives trading hours for income, a small group learned how to play three completely different games. Games that transform ordinary people from workers into owners, from participants into power holders. Today, we're going to break down every one of those games. Let's talk about the real reasons so many people stay broke. Machiavelli once observed that people are often so eager to satisfy immediate needs that they become easy to manipulate. And nowhere is that more obvious than in the way most people think about money. From childhood, you've been taught a simple formula: work hard, stay loyal, be patient, success will come. It sounds reasonable. The problem is that it isn't entirely true. In fact, it may be one of the most profitable stories ever sold to the working class. Because if people believe hard work alone creates wealth, they will keep running faster on the treadmill without ever questioning who owns the machine. They'll stay exhausted, busy, productive, and financially stuck. You are not poor because you're lazy. You are not poor because you lack discipline. You are poor because you're playing a game designed for survival, while others are playing a game designed for ownership. And there are only three games that truly matter. Three games that separate those who work forever from those who eventually become free. The first game is ownership versus labor, and this lesson hurts because most people build their entire identity around labor. Think about it. Every hour you exchange for money ties your income directly to your presence. The moment you stop showing up, the money stops showing up too. Yet we've been conditioned to call this security: a stable job, a steady paycheck, a safe future. But what if that security is actually a carefully packaged form of dependence? You have 24 hours in a day. No matter how talented you are, no matter how hard you work, you cannot create more time. That means your income has a ceiling if it's connected directly to your labor. The system quietly consumes your hours. You work to pay for transportation. You work to pay for housing. You work to pay for food. You work to recover from the stress created by work itself. And before you know it, years have disappeared. Machiavelli spoke about virtù, not in the moral sense that modern people imagine, but as the ability to seize opportunity and maintain power. It was about effectiveness, capability, strategic action. The world rarely rewards the person who waits. It rewards the person who positions themselves correctly. Look at Larry Ellison. He didn't become one of the richest people in history by remaining a highly paid programmer. He built Oracle. He owned the system. While thousands of talented engineers traded expertise for salaries, Ellison owned the infrastructure they depended on. Every contract, every license, every subscription, every renewal, value flowed back to the owner. Not because he worked harder than everyone else, but because he occupied a different position in the game. The same pattern appears everywhere. Take John Malone, often called the cable cowboy. He understood something most people never realize. Don't fight to be another participant. Own the road everyone else must travel. He wasn't focused on producing content. He focused on owning the cables that delivered the content. Every company using that infrastructure indirectly paid him. He became the toll collector. And the toll collector often earns more than the travelers. That's the hidden difference between labor and ownership. Labor creates income. Ownership creates leverage. Labor requires constant effort. Ownership continues producing long after the original effort is finished. Think about a songwriter. The song may take weeks to write, but if it becomes successful, royalties can continue for decades. The work happened once. The income continues. Or imagine a software creator. The application is built one time, yet thousands of users may pay monthly subscriptions. The creator sleeps while the system keeps generating revenue. That's ownership. The same principle applies to books, digital products, licensing agreements, businesses, patents, even content. The initial effort creates an asset, and the asset continues working after the creator stops. Real estate follows the same logic. A property is acquired, tenants pay rent, the property may appreciate in value, the cash flow helps acquire another property, then another, then another. Eventually, each asset begins supporting the next one. Instead of income depending entirely on your time, income begins coming from systems you control. And that's the shift most people never make. They spend years asking, how can I earn more money? When the better question is, what can I own that continues creating value even when I'm not working? That single question can completely change your financial future, because wealth is rarely created through effort alone. It's created through ownership. Ownership of businesses, ownership of assets, ownership of intellectual property, ownership of platforms, ownership of systems. The wealthy understand that time is the most limited resource on earth, so instead of selling all of theirs, they spend their lives acquiring assets that multiply it. The worker trades time for money. The owner buys back time through ownership. One remains trapped inside the machine. The other gradually becomes the person who owns it. And that's why Game 1 is so important. If your income disappears the moment you stop working, you're still operating inside the labor game. The goal is to build assets that continue producing value regardless of whether you're present, because true freedom begins when your income becomes independent of your hours. And once you understand that principle, the next game becomes even more powerful. Game 2. Leverage versus saving. Most people believe saving money is the key to becoming wealthy. It sounds responsible. Spend less than you earn. Put money in the bank. Watch the balance slowly grow. Repeat for 40 years. The problem is that this strategy was designed for stability, not wealth. And there is a massive difference between the two. Saving money can help you avoid disaster, but saving money alone rarely creates financial freedom. Because while your savings sit still, the world keeps moving. Inflation quietly eats away at purchasing power. The cost of housing rises. The cost of food rises. The cost of healthcare rises. The cost of opportunity rises. Yet most people continue celebrating tiny gains while losing ground in real terms. Imagine spending 10 years carefully building a savings account only to discover that the purchasing power of that money has shrunk significantly. The number in the account may be larger, but the value behind the number is smaller. And this is where the wealthy begin playing a completely different game. They focus on leverage. Now, leverage is one of the most misunderstood concepts in finance. Many people hear the word and immediately think of debt, credit cards, car loans, consumer financing. But that isn't the type of leverage that builds wealth. That's often the type that destroys it. Real leverage is the ability to use resources beyond your own limitations. It is the art of multiplying results without multiplying effort. It allows a single person to achieve outcomes that would otherwise require decades, and the wealthy use it constantly. One form of leverage is money. Another is people. Another is technology. Another is media. Another is systems. The common thread is simple. Leverage allows you to create disproportionate results. Consider Aristotle Onassis. Before building one of the largest shipping fortunes in history, he lacked the massive capital most people assume is necessary. What he possessed was the ability to see opportunity differently. Instead of focusing on what he didn't have, he focused on what he could control. He secured shipping contracts. Then he used those contracts to access capital. He effectively transformed future revenue into present opportunity. He understood a powerful principle. Ownership of opportunity is often more valuable than ownership of cash. The average person waits until they have enough money before acting. The sophisticated player finds a way to act first and structure the resources afterward. That mindset changes everything. Cornelius Vanderbilt operated with a similar philosophy. He didn't view cash as something to protect at all costs. He viewed cash as ammunition. When markets crashed and competitors panicked, Vanderbilt moved aggressively. While others were trying to survive, he was buying assets at fractions of their true value. He understood that wealth is often transferred during moments of fear. The average person sees uncertainty and retreats. The strategic player sees opportunity and advances. This doesn't mean reckless risk-taking. It means understanding the difference between productive risk and destructive risk. And that's where most people get confused. Bad debt finances consumption. Good debt finances production. Bad debt buys liabilities. Good debt acquires assets. Bad debt creates monthly obligations. Good debt creates monthly cash flow. The distinction is critical. A luxury car purchased to impress strangers is not leverage. A productive asset generating income may be. A credit card used for lifestyle inflation is not leverage. Capital deployed into something that produces returns can be. The wealthy are not obsessed with avoiding debt. They are obsessed with understanding it. They analyze cost, return, cash flow, risk, opportunity. They ask different questions. Instead of asking, "How much will this cost me?" they ask, "What will this produce?" That single shift in thinking changes how every financial decision is made. Leverage extends far beyond money. Think about employees. A business owner may have 10 people working toward a shared objective. Each hour those employees contribute creates output for the organization. The owner is no longer limited to their own labor. They've multiplied their effectiveness through people. That is leverage. Technology creates another layer. A software product can be sold thousands of times without being recreated from scratch. A digital course can reach people across the world. An app can serve millions simultaneously. Technology allows one action to create endless outcomes. That is leverage. Media operates the same way. One video, one article, one podcast, one piece of content. Yet millions of people can consume it. The creator does not need to repeat the work individually for every viewer. The message scales, the influence scales, the opportunity scales. That is leverage. The modern world rewards people who understand how to combine these forms together. Money, technology, media, people, systems. When layered correctly, they create extraordinary results. And this is why the wealthy often seem to move faster. It's not because they're superhuman, it's because they are rarely relying solely on personal effort. They've built structures that amplify results. Meanwhile, most people remain trapped in a purely linear model. Work 1 hour, earn 1 hour's worth of income. Work 10 hours, earn 10 hours worth of income. The relationship remains fixed. The ceiling remains fixed. The possibilities remain fixed. Leverage breaks that ceiling. It introduces scale. And scale changes everything. Think about a creator who produces a single video. That video may continue generating views, subscribers, leads, customers, and opportunities for years. The effort happened once. The benefits continue. The same principle applies to books, businesses, products, software, and investments. The effort becomes detached from the reward. That is the essence of leverage. It allows the past version of you to continue producing value in the future. The uncomfortable truth is that many people remain poor because they fear leverage. They fear responsibility. They fear uncertainty. They fear making mistakes. So they choose what feels safe. But safety often comes with hidden costs. A person who never learns to use leverage may spend decades working harder, while someone else spends decades building systems. And eventually, the gap becomes enormous. One person is still selling time. The other owns assets. One depends on labor. The other depends on leverage. One works harder. The other scales smarter. This is why the wealthy obsess over return on investment. Every dollar, every hour, every relationship, every project, every decision. They constantly ask, what is the highest value use of this resource? Because resources are limited, time is limited, energy is limited, attention is limited. The people who learn to multiply those resources gain an enormous advantage over those who merely conserve them. Saving protects, leverage expands. Saving preserves, leverage grows. Saving prevents loss. Leverage creates opportunity, and while both have their place, only one has the power to fundamentally transform your trajectory. Which brings us to the final game, the most controversial game. The game almost nobody wants to discuss openly, because it challenges one of the deepest beliefs modern society teaches. Game 3. Structural advantage versus fairness. Now we arrive at the game that makes people uncomfortable, because it forces you to confront a possibility most people spend their lives avoiding. What if the game was never designed to be fair? What if fairness is not the mechanism that determines outcomes? What if outcomes are determined by positioning? From childhood, we are taught a comforting belief. Work hard, follow the rules, compete honestly. Eventually, success will find you. And while effort absolutely matters, effort alone does not explain why some people advance dramatically faster than others. Peter Thiel once made a statement that shocked many people. Competition is for losers. At first, it sounds arrogant, but look deeper. What was he really saying? He was saying that the greatest rewards rarely go to people fighting in crowded arenas. They go to people who create advantages others cannot easily replicate. Think about it. If 10,000 businesses offer the same thing, competition becomes brutal. Margins shrink. Attention becomes expensive. Growth slows. Everyone fights for the same customers. But if one company controls something unique, the game changes. The company is no longer competing. It is defining the market. That is structural advantage. And the wealthy understand this principle at a level most people never reach. Bernard Arnault didn't become one of the richest people on earth by selling luxury products one at a time. He built an ecosystem, brand after brand, acquisition after acquisition. Over time, he assembled an empire that controls significant portions of the luxury world. When someone buys a luxury handbag, a luxury watch, a luxury fragrance, or luxury fashion, there is a good chance value flows back into his network. He isn't merely participating in the market, he influences the market. That's a completely different position. The same pattern appears in countless industries. The largest players don't focus only on products, they focus on control. Control of distribution, control of infrastructure, control of attention, control of networks, control of access. Because control creates structural advantage, and structural advantage creates leverage that compounds over decades. This brings us to a difficult truth. The world often rewards positioning more than effort. That doesn't mean effort is irrelevant. It means effort without positioning is limited. Imagine two people working equally hard. One is isolated. The other is surrounded by investors, entrepreneurs, mentors, and opportunities. Who advances faster? The answer is obvious. Environment matters, networks matter, location matters, access matters. The people who understand this stop asking, how can I work harder? And begin asking, how can I position myself better? Because the right environment can compress years of struggle into months. The wrong environment can turn decades of effort into frustration. This principle extends into business, investing, career development, and personal branding. Opportunities tend to flow where opportunity already exists. Capital attracts capital. Influence attracts influence. Success attracts success. The wealthy understand this. They intentionally place themselves near opportunity. They don't wait for opportunities to discover them. They move toward the source. If technology is your path, you position yourself around technology. If media is your path, you position yourself around creators and distribution. If finance is your path, you move closer to financial ecosystems. If entrepreneurship is your path, you spend time around builders rather than spectators. They understand that geography is leverage, networks are leverage, access is leverage, information is leverage, and all of those advantages compound. Another area where structural advantage becomes obvious is taxation. Most people spend their lives focused on earning more income. The wealthy often spend equal energy on preserving what they earn. This isn't about breaking laws, it's about understanding rules. The average employee earns money, pays taxes immediately, then spends what remains. Many business owners operate differently. Certain expenses become deductible. Business investments reduce taxable income. Legal entities create flexibility. Structures create efficiency. Professionals help optimize decisions. The wealthy don't necessarily have different rules. They simply understand the rules more deeply, and knowledge creates advantage. The same pattern appears everywhere. Most people try to solve problems with effort. The wealthy often solve problems with structure. Most people think transactionally. The wealthy think systematically. Most people focus on the next paycheck. The wealthy focus on the next decade. This difference in time horizon changes everything. A person thinking only about this month makes different decisions than a person thinking about 10 years from now. The long-term thinker is willing to sacrifice comfort for freedom. The short-term thinker often sacrifices freedom for comfort. And that brings us to one of the most powerful strategies of all, the double life strategy. This is where transformation actually begins, because the reality is that most people cannot simply walk away from responsibilities tomorrow. Bills exist, families exist, obligations exist. The transition must be built intelligently. That means operating in two worlds simultaneously. The first world is your visible life, your job, your responsibilities, your commitments, the role society sees. This world pays the bills, it provides stability, it keeps the lights on. There is nothing wrong with that. But the mistake is allowing that visible life to become your entire identity, because the second world is where freedom is built. The second world is invisible. It's the project nobody knows about. The business being built after work, the channel being created before sunrise, the skills being developed at night, the investments being studied on weekends, the systems being constructed quietly while everyone else is distracted. This invisible world becomes your future. The average person spends every free hour consuming. The strategic person spends at least some of those hours creating assets, creating skills, creating leverage, creating opportunities. Brick by brick, month by month, year by year. The process is rarely glamorous. In fact, it often feels painfully slow. You wake up early, you work after everyone else has stopped. You continue when results aren't visible. You continue when nobody believes in the vision. You continue when growth feels invisible. But that is how every fortress is built, one brick at a time. Eventually, something remarkable happens. The invisible empire begins generating results. A client appears, a product sells, an investment grows, an audience forms. Cash flow starts emerging from sources unrelated to your job. At first, it's small. Then, it becomes noticeable. Then, it becomes meaningful. And eventually, the relationship between labor and income begins to break. That's when options appear. Not fantasies, not dreams, real options. The ability to choose, the ability to walk away, the ability to negotiate, the ability to decide how your time is spent. And that is what wealth ultimately provides. Not luxury, not status, not attention. Freedom, the freedom to decide, the the freedom to build, the freedom to create, the freedom to say no. Most people chase money because they think money itself is the prize. But money is rarely the prize. Money is a tool. Freedom is the prize. Control is the prize. Ownership is the prize. The ability to direct your own life is the prize. Which brings us back to the three games: ownership versus labor, leverage versus saving, structural advantage versus fairness. These are not secrets hidden from the world. They're simply principles most people never organize into a coherent strategy. The majority stay trapped because they focus exclusively on effort. The minority advance because they combine effort with ownership, leverage, and positioning. One path leads to dependence, the other leads to sovereignty. One path keeps you running, the other gradually puts you in control. The choice has always been there. Most people simply never notice it, but now you do. You can continue believing that more hours will eventually solve every problem, or you can begin building assets. You can continue relying entirely on labor, or you can begin creating leverage. You can continue waiting for opportunity, or you can position yourself where opportunity becomes unavoidable. The decision is yours. If you've made it this far, you're already different from most people. Most people avoid ideas that challenge their assumptions. You're still here, which means you're willing to think, you're willing to question, you're willing to look beyond the obvious. And that is where every transformation begins. If this shifted the way you see yourself even a little, then don't stop here, because what you've heard in this video is only the surface. There are deeper layers to psychology, influence, and wealth that simply can't be explored fully in one video, not because they don't exist, but because most people aren't ready to hear them. That's why most stay average. If you're not one of them, then subscribe, because every video here is designed to sharpen your mindset, increase your value, and separate you from the crowd. No fluff, no noise, just strategy. Most people will watch this and move on. A few will stay and change. Decide which one you are.